A barrister has sparked a fierce debate online after urging all expectant mothers not to give their child the father's surname.
What do you think? Is it time to break with tradition, give babies their mother's maiden name, or is it important to give children their father's surname to continue the family legacy? Joining us to talk about this is this person, Charlotte Proudman, who tweeted the controversial message, and father of four, True Powell, who says that if it works, why change it? I have to say, I think I'm with you on this. I hadn't really thought about it much until I sort of heard about the big argument going on Twitter. And I kind of feel that this is an idea whose time has come.
Yeah.
I can't actually see why we should continue automatically naming newborn babies after the married father.
No, I agree. And obviously it stems back to the idea that children are chattel or property of the father. And that's why historically children have taken the names of their fathers. But, I mean, you know, we're in 2023 now, and it's about time recognising the labour that we go through and carrying a baby for 9 months, going through the pain and trauma of childbirth, breastfeeding, a lifelong responsibility. I was saying, you know, when you're sitting there to register that child, think about whether, in fact, your surname is more important or is as important as the father's name. And, you know, question why that is. And I've been really encouraged to see some of the responses from many mothers, some of whom have done exactly that and have given their names instead of the father's. But, you know, we have our own name and we have our own identity, and I think it's important to recognise that rather than it being erased as a result of taking fathers.
And lots of kids whose parents aren't married do take the mother's name, don't they?
Some of them do, but double barrels, if you note, have become more popular, and I think they're quite problematic because often seen as a compromise. It's, you know, it's so good of him to allow me to add my name.
Drew, what do you think?
So here's the thing. I'm not completely against children taking their mother's name. However, and I think, you know, it's important that we start to question some of these doctrines that we've inherited, some of these patriarchal doctrines that we've inherited. But I think my thing is rather than having a conversation about it, it's almost like the dictatorship. We have carried this child for 9 months. We are the primary givers. Therefore, we are making the decision to give the child.
They might argue that it's been the other way around.
And absolutely, it is a doctrine, and we should have a conversation about it. And we should, with me and my wife, we have a conversation about who has the last name for our children. And we both decided, actually, that when she married me, she would adopt my surname, and then our children would have our name because it is our name. She has evolved, my wife has evolved, and her name now is my name, and so forth.
And did she think that when you said goodnight last night before you got up early to come on the show? Did she maintain that position?
Absolutely, and you know we've had conversations, and I think every family is different. And I don't think we can have a sweeping blanket to say, right, OK, you all should take your mother's surname. And equally, you shouldn't all take your father's surname. You should have a conversation about...
Well, he's being reasonable, isn't he?
He's being reasonable, I'll give him that. And look, it doesn't work for everyone. But I do think, you know, if it's been going on for centuries that children have taken their father's name, why do we not redress that inequality and, you know, the gender imbalance by now saying, actually, it's our time, Kate. We're going to have our names and our babies are going to take up our identity.
Male pride is at the root of it as well, apart from just tradition and convention. I mean, I was thinking about this. Honestly, I'm not trying to be right on here, I'm really not, but I honestly wouldn't mind if our kids, Jack and Chloe, were called Jack Finnegan and Chloe Finnegan. It wouldn't bother me at all.
No, I think that's lovely. I mean, I changed my surname.
We did ask you on Twitter, should mothers give babies their surname? And 47% of you said yes. 53% of you said no. Drew is still in the dominance, but it's pretty close.
It's very close.
Now it's time to join Ranveer.
You won.
Rain.